name is Sarah Sloan, and you are listening to The Sarah Sloan Show. How are you guys? Missed you as always. You were in my heart. I was just longing to talk to you again. And, man, jail time was not fun, but I'm so glad I'm out of prison. The prison of laziness. You know what I'm talking about? Can I get some amens in the crowd? Here, stand up if you guys are lazy. Okay, we got it. Yeah, there's some people in the back. Yeah, if you're a loser, stand up. Okay, no one's standing? Well, you should be. All right. Once again, it's hot outside. I've been seeing pretty much every day 107 degrees. I don't like it. I'm a happy girl, but I don't like it. So, some exciting things are happening this week in the political world. Well, there's always exciting stuff, but I think you knew that. There is a Republican presidential debate that will be happening. And it's going to happen on a Wednesday in Milwaukee. So, as it stands, Trump isn't showing up to that. He pretty much said, I'm kind of winning, and there's no need for me to go. I think I'm going to say I really want him to. I understand his reasoning for not feeling the need, but it would be so much more entertaining for him to be there. And we all know there's going to be a lot of Trump questions at the debate. So something that was kind of interesting was that DeSantis, he had, they always have debate preparation for the candidates, because you can't just walk into a debate stage. Like, you need some preparation coming in. And so they do that. And there was apparently a debate preparation memo that was just leaked to the media. And so he's been kind of having to explain the details of that and distance himself from the memo. So it's from a political action committee, though. So it was from a PAC. And then he was telling Fox News, nope, that wasn't mine. I haven't read it. It's just something that we prepared and put off, to the side. And so it was, from the Never Back Down PAC, which I've never heard of. I'm sure DeSantis wants them to back down right now if they can. And so basically the plan was showing that he would go onto the debate stage. He would defend Trump. And everybody knew, obviously, he wasn't going to be attending. And then DeSantis would attack Vivek Ramaswamy, who has been doing, decently well considering what everybody would have expected. So, yeah, he would be attacking Vivek, defending Trump, which is an interesting tactic if you think about it. And essentially, kind of in a lot of, in the general feel of the race, Trump is way ahead of all the others. And then now it's kind of been more like a DeSantis versus Vivek in second place. And so then it makes sense that you want to attack the third place, because with Trump facing all these indictments, which that's a whole other thing. And it's just very frustrating. And then other people involved are now being, told that, hey, you may be in prison for this now. So yay. Oh, that was so fake of me. Thank God I was never a cheerleader. I would have been a depression leader. Anyway, so if Trump can't beat these indictments and everything else, then his first place doesn't really matter anymore, and it's irrelevant. This is just DeSantis' mind. I don't know what's actually going to happen. And so then if he's out, then DeSantis, Vivek, and then all the other people, essentially. And who knows what would actually happen as far as the numbers go. Who would the Trump supporters want to support? I think we would be a little shocked to see how many of those people would go to Vivek, because Vivek hasn't been as anti-Trump as DeSantis has. But that way, DeSantis should be attacking the next potential threat. And then you don't want to alienate the Trump supporters, because essentially then they're going to be like, well, we don't want to support you. You just talked bad about us. And so I have a clip later on that I'll be playing that kind of shows DeSantis attacking Trump supporters, which is a terrible idea. And it shows that this memo and his words are in opposition. The overall plan is no longer making sense. Why are you defending Trump and then you're attacking his supporters? That doesn't make any sense. So, let's see. And also, DeSantis has had to be like, he's had to reboot his campaign. He's had to like lay off a bunch of people, and things just haven't been going super, super well for him. Let's see. Okay, so he was saying, whenever he was asked, hey, are you going to be targeting rivals on stage during that first debate? He said, yes, that means defending ourselves, but more importantly, showing why we are the leader to get this country turned around. And then DeSantis, his campaign denied any knowledge of the memo, and the quote from the campaign was, "This was not a campaign memo, and we were not aware of it prior to the article. We are well accustomed to the attacks from all sides as the media and the other candidates realize Ron DeSantis is the strongest candidate, best positioned to take down Joe Biden." So, and then, okay, so Trump, he gave kind of the reason on why he's not going to show up. I am leading the runner-up, whoever that may be, may now be by more than 50 points. And so then he said, Reagan didn't do it, and neither did others. People know my record. One of the best ever. So why would I debate? I'm your man. Make America great again. Oh, it'd just be so great if Trump was to do it. And apparently the Republican Party is making all the candidates sign a pledge saying that whoever ends up being the nominee, they're going to support. And Trump told Fox earlier in August, I wouldn't sign the pledge. They want you to sign a pledge. But I can name 3 or 4 people that I wouldn't support for president. So right there's a problem. At least he's honest. But yeah, apparently everybody else is pretty much signing the pledge. Okay, so then... is it Ronna McDaniel? Yeah, Ronna McDaniel, she's in charge. She's a Republican National Committee chairwoman. She was saying that Trump signed the pledge before. He signed it to get on the South Carolina ballot. I have a feeling if he wants to be on the debate stage, he's going to sign that pledge. So, yeah. And then, okay, so Nikki Haley, she is, of course, going to be on the debate stage. It's going to be very interesting. I am so sick of this with her. She is doing the whole... like her overall message is, Nikki is tough. She's going to stand up for America, and she's going to stand up to bullies. And she did that in her, she's done that in her past videos. And I'm so sick of it. It's just, if you have to say I'm going to stand up for bullies, that shows that you're not really going to stand up for bullies. You don't have to say that. You don't hear Trump saying, I'm going to stand up for... You never hear him say that. It's just so pathetic and weak. And you don't... I get it. She's a woman running for president. She has to show that she's tough. But does she? Does she really have to show that she's tough? Can't she just be herself and be natural? Like, I didn't look at her and say, she's not going to stand up for us on first impression. But whenever she's all like, hey guys, leave him alone. You know, in school, whenever you would do that, like someone was getting like bullied, and you, like, it's all these football players throwing a kid into a trash can. And then you're like, want to defend the kid, and you're like, hey, stop, guys. Let's not do that anymore, okay? Please. What are the bullies going to do? They're going to look at you and laugh. And then probably you're going in the trash can with the guy. But maybe you'll fall in love with that guy. And then maybe you'll get married and have kids that will then get bullied as well. That's what's going to happen. So stop it, Nikki. This has been part of who I am for as long as I can remember. I've been underestimated in everything I've ever done. But it's a blessing because it makes me scrappy. Scrappy. Like, I just see her, like, ripping up a scrapbook. Just, like, ripping out the pages. And her grandmother's like, oh, Nikki, please, leave that scrapbook alone, please. She's like, I'm scrappy. No one's going to outwork me in this race. No one's going to outsmart me in this race. We have a country to save, and I'm determined to do it. You are going to be outworked. You are going to be outsmarted. And yeah, guess what? Other people will save this country. It's not just you. Like, I'm glad you have confidence and you believe in yourself. But seriously, you look so pathetic talking this way. You were a governor. Okay. You worked in the UN. Okay. Just stop. Maybe just get a cabinet spot and just stop. I am not anti-woman. As you can see, I am one. But why, Republicans? Is this the best we've got, women-wise? Really, is this the best we have? 'Cause I think we could do a little better. And you're looking at the better we can do. I am Sarah Sloan, and I am running for president. I approve this message. Because guess what? I'm going to fight the bullies. Bullies, be gone. Okay, so. All right. I promise this clip I am going to deliver. DeSantis. So, he said something against Trump supporters, and you don't just do that.
Supporting Trump as whether you...
I always do this. I always do 2 times the speed because I like it, but that doesn't mean you guys like it. And if you guys are listening at 2 times the speed, guess what? That's going to be 4 times the speed. And it'll be way too fast. Okay, so roll the tape.
You are a rhino or not. And so you could be the most conservative person since sliced bread. Unless you're kissing his rear end, they will somehow call you a rhino. So you're not rooted in principle. If all we are is listless vessels that's just supposed to follow, whatever happens to come down the pike on Truth Social every morning, that's not going to be a durable movement.
Okay, so Charlie, I've covered a lot of Trump rallies. I've talked to a lot of their supporters, and I can tell you right now, I'm calling it Listless Vessels is going to be on a T-shirt.
Yeah.
And if it's not already on one right now, what's the thinking?
Yeah, I think that's a safe bet. No, it's a terrible strategy. And it's so frustrating because Ron DeSantis has such a tremendous record to run on. There's so much promise for him, but he is really failing. Like we have seen few politicians with so much going in their direction fail as badly as he is failing. He's not very good at politics. It's appearing, and the biggest tell is when you go after the voters that you're supposed to win over, and you attack them and you mock them. We've seen Hillary Clinton tried it with the basket of deplorables, as you pointed out. And it didn't work for her. And so he's coming up, not only is he coming up with something, I don't even know what a listless vessel is, except that it's insulting. And the suggestion is that these people are not only all the things that Hillary Clinton thought they were, but they're also stupid and they're getting snookered. Trump voters are very, very wise to that. And he's doing himself serious damage that is going to carry with him not only through this primary, but it's going to hurt him 4 years from now.
Well, and for sure, Governor DeSantis probably never thought that he would be compared to Hillary Clinton. Yeah. Let's go to a flashback.
You could put half of Trump's supporters into what I call the basket of deplorables. They're racist, sexist, homophobic, xenophobic, Islamophobic, you name it.
Empty vessels.
So, Tommy, is this a fair comparison?
You don't want to be compared to Hillary, DeSantis. So yeah, he's attacking Trump supporters, which I happen to be one. I am a listless vessel, according to him. I do whatever Trump wants or says. I just follow. I have no brain. I'm so stupid, and I have no intelligence. I didn't come to support Trump through various beliefs and time of prayer, through everything else. No, I'm just an idiot if I don't support DeSantis. By the way, guys, I just want to say, if you're not listening to my podcast and you're listening to somebody else, you are a listless vessel. You're an idiot for not doing so. You should only listen to me, and that's it. Okay? Okay? You didn't like that. You didn't like when I said that, did you? Because it's a dumb thing to say. It's a mean thing to say. If you don't listen to my podcast, that's okay. You don't have to. Freedom of choice. And I'm not going to insult anybody for not doing so. So therefore, on a much grander scale, DeSantis, don't support people that don't support, or don't criticize people that are supporting Trump. They have every right to support Trump. Indictments and all. We know. We're not idiots. We see what's happening in the news. And we're not saying that's not happening. We know it's happening. And we're still choosing to support him. It's sad. It's sad. And so, yeah, now you're just like Hillary. When you're running out of things to say, that you begin just criticizing supporters of another politician. Basket of deplorables. When did she say that? She was pretty desperate at that point. And then she had to criticize us. And, with her, you could argue, okay, it really wasn't that big of a deal because it's not like she was going to get any Trump supporters on her side, just like you're not going to get Hillary supporters to support Trump. But DeSantis, you have a chance at Trump supporters, and you're still doing that? I don't know, buddy. I don't know. I have some doubts about you, man. I'm mad at you right now, but that's okay. Okay, so apparently another guy that is going to be on the debate stage, his name is Doug Burgum. I don't know why that's hard for me to say. He's a governor. He's a Republican of North Dakota. And yeah, he's been kind of described as like Reagan-esque, just like, oh, I'm tough and everything else. And just like a nice guy. And so he was on the MSNBC show that Chuck Todd, hosts. I think it's like every Sunday or whatever, called Meet the Press. It's been going on forever. I thought he said he was going to retire, and I'm still seeing him there. And so he does this like 10-minute interview with this guy, with this governor who is going to be on the debate stage. He did just barely make it. Also, Mike Pence did as well. So he's going to be on the debate stage as well. So it should be a pretty interesting debate, regardless of whatever you think. And the interview, well, let's just play it. It went a little bit like this the entire 10 minutes.
More indictments have come down on the former president. And I know you want to get to other topics, but I'm curious on the former president. Do you think he did try to overturn the election results in 2020? That he made a concerted effort to do that?
Well, Chuck, this is one of these things. I think there's an entire cable news industry. There's an entire social media industry built around trying to answer that question. And where we're coming from, we're excited to be on the debate stage, the least known candidate on there. If you want to fill this gap where you mentioned 83% of Americans don't trust our institutions, the way that starts is leadership at the top. Any organization I've been involved with, it starts with a leader that you can trust, that's got the character and the integrity, the proven track record of being able to do that. And that's what I've done my whole life in every organization I've been, but people don't know that yet. So we absolutely are going to leave that to this whole industry. We've got to focus on telling our story and telling the story of what we've been able to get done in North Dakota.
You are running for president. You don't think people need to know where you stand on these issues? You're asking to be the next guardrail of the American democracy. At the end of the day, this is the biggest stress test our country's faced in over 100 years.
Yes, and I think part of a stress test, whether it's for Hunter Biden, Joe Biden, Donald Trump, everybody's innocent until they're proven guilty in this country, and lots of accusations that are being tossed around. But I think that if we're focused on January is when the first caucuses and primary are. That's when the voters get to decide. I do trust the voters. I trust that if we can show that we're a credible alternative, that we can deliver the things that Americans are looking for, because Americans do want this country to move forward. They want presidential elections to be about the future, a vision for the future. Then we have to offer that. If I'm just one more pundit, criticizing everything that's gone on in 2020, no one's going to see that there's leadership there. So again, presidential campaigns, are about the future, and we're going to paint that picture of how we can improve the economy, energy, and national security. How that's going to improve every American life. How it's going to bring out the best of America. This country's got to move forward, not backwards.
If Donald Trump is convicted of a crime, and you're president, and you had the ability to keep him out of prison, would you? Would you pardon him?
Well, I've been asked this question a bunch, and of course, as sitting governor, I have to, almost smile, because as governors, we've got some limited pardonability for people in our own states. But if somebody came up and said, hey, this person's been accused, there hasn't been evidence, there hasn't been one day of a trial, in 2025, would you pardon them? Those kind of hypothetical questions, any governor that understands his role would never speculate on that, because it hasn't played out. It's like trying to jump ahead of the entire court system. And I respect the judicial branch has got their job. In the executive branch, one thing I know about the executive branch is we work for everybody. When there's a blizzard in North Dakota, we're plowing the roads for Republicans, Independents, Democrats, for everybody. That's the job of the executive branch. That's the job I'm running for.
I want to play something that...
Yeah, so he just wouldn't stop. Okay. disavow Trump, like say something negative against Trump. That's all he wanted out of this guy. Say something, please. Hate on Trump. Will you do that? Trump. You are speaking with someone who's running for president, and you won't ask anything about what the guy believes, the policies he wants to enact, his past voting record, just anything about him. Just, oh no, what do you think about Trump? What do you think about Trump? Shut up about Trump. If you're speaking to Trump, then let's talk about Trump. I understand one question about Trump, the leader of the race right now. I understand like one question because that makes sense, I guess. But gosh, everything was about Trump for the entire 10 minutes. It's so silly. I guess it kind of shows people that maybe there shouldn't be any other candidates. It should just be Trump, because otherwise you're just answering questions about Trump. But I think there should be other candidates. Other people should be running. And truthfully, the more people that run for president on the Republican side, the more that helps Trump, because it's just splitting up the vote. And so then his supporters, that's just a block there. And then as there's like 12 different people running for president after him, then boom, splits that up to where 5% versus 40% or whatever that is. Who do you think is going to win? Trump, obviously. Poor guy. And I respect him for just saying, no, I'm not going to give you what you want. Okay, so what? You play their game. Yeah, I hate Trump. I think Trump's the worst person in the world. I think his supporters are absolute idiots. And yeah, that's pretty much what I believe. Okay, well, that's really going to help you. No, it doesn't help you to go against Trump. It doesn't do any good for you. So I think he was very disciplined to stay away from that. And you could tell it was irritating Chuck Todd. Hard-hitting journalist, really getting the facts straight. And even just like after that interview and he was speaking to somebody else, they were like, you really tried to hold him to account and he just dodged the question. No, he didn't dodge the question. He said, I'm not going to answer that. That's basically what he said. I'm not going to answer that. At that point, Megyn Kelly even says this in her show. She's like, you ask a question like twice. If they're not going to answer it, you have to move on, because you're just wasting time otherwise. And you could be getting other, bits of information. Because in an article, person declined to comment. That's what you have to put. You can't just keep on wasting time. And so then if literally they're not answering a single question, then people will know that. And they'll see that, hey, they're not answering any questions. They're not really open. I guess they're not ready for the big stage because they won't answer a dang question. So, silly and pathetic journalism. And I won't have it. I'm sorry. I've got to stand up for truth and power. Okay, so let's see. All right, so let's go to a Bible verse, and it's going to be 1 Corinthians 12:4. There are diversities of gifts, but the same Spirit. There are differences of ministries, but the same Lord. And there are diversities of activities, but it is the same God who works all in all. I could continue one more. But the manifestation of the Spirit is given to each one for the profit of all. I love that about the Christian community, the church, that each of us are just so unique, and God made us all just so different. And it's just wonderful because, yeah, you see some people and they love to just serve, and there's even different ways of service. Some people, they maybe want to serve by making food for others. Maybe others want to serve in the kids ministry. Maybe some people want to serve by helping repair people's homes who can't do it themselves. That, just different gifts. There's other people that have gifts of prophecy, gifts of tongues, which is a good thing, by the way, and the Bible speaks positively of it. And there are just so many wonderful and beautiful gifts, and I love that God, He gives us what we need, and it is for the purpose of bringing glory to His name and making the world a better place and benefiting each other. Because, yeah, if you want to just hinder your gifts and just not bless other people, I notice those kind of people tend to hate their lives because they're not benefiting anybody but themselves. So it's not a good thing. God doesn't work that way. And you are happiest when you are helping others. It's kind of awkward sometimes whenever you get a gift from somebody else. You're like, oh, thank you. But I don't know about you. I'm always just thinking about, okay, I'm going to have to find a gift for them and get them a gift. And it's just like uncomfortable. Versus I love giving a gift to other people. I want to see their reaction. I want to see like that they thought that like that they realized like I kind of knew what they wanted and maybe needed. And it's just like exciting. It's exciting to bless others. And so, so we all have gifts. You have gifts. And if you're not a Christian, you should become one so you can really see the full fruition of your gifts. That's whenever things really get exciting. If you have a boring life right now because it's not with God, or if you have a boring life and it is with God, you're doing something wrong. So maybe talk to somebody at a church and they can help you, or get on your knees right now and speak to the Lord. Now, get on your knees now. Okay, so a little update on my, I think a while ago I was talking about not sleeping with a pillow, and I was getting a little frustrated though because it's been fine, but if you just don't have a pillow there at all, your head could just go from like side to side, and it's just like uncomfortable, and you're just like, you can't keep your head just completely centered the whole night. I don't know about you, but I just can't. And so what I've been doing is I have a pillow on both sides of my head now, and it kind of cradles my head. It keeps it in place so that it just kind of has to stay where it is. And it's helped a lot. It's been really awesome. So I don't know if there's any people that are kind of no pillow people. I guess you kind of do need a pillow to help the no pillow. And it's just been nice. It's been nice. And maybe I'll figure out years later, you are severely screwing up your body, Sarah Sloan. You're so dumb. Oh my gosh. And I'll just be like, hey, you're really rude. Like, I know you're a doctor, but I don't like you. So all right. Guys, thank you so much for listening to me and just being awesome. Just remember, like, you are valuable, and I care about you so much. So much that I don't even know your names, the people who are listening. So this is uncomfortable now. Get some fast food this week. I heard it's really good for your body. All right, you guys, have a good week. Bye.